Welcome back, everyone, to yet another episode of Major Money. And today, as every single Friday that I do, I have Ross with me, and we are going to be picking our favorite plays. As always, two picks for each of us, and one family play that we combine into one slip that we like for Flex Friday and the weekend. So you can, if you like our picks, you can ride with them for Flex Friday, or sometimes people like fading them for Flex Friday. But either way, take advantage of Flex Friday. I believe this week it's $20 free, no sweat Flex pick. I typically do four because if you hit all four, you get a times five. If you hit three, you get times 1.5. And I know that's playing it safe for a free sweat, but hey, I would rather hit 4 for 4 than go 5 of 6, right? Just much better payout there. So I do play it a little bit conservatively because we are trying to take their money, even if our potential isn't near as high. But before we get into our picks, as always, you can see right in the middle of your screen right here, new member offer. Play $5, get $50 instantly if you use the code 5. That's code FIVE. Best value out there, even beats Flex Friday value and Taco Tuesday, which this week was on Wednesday, ironically, because they were having issues with Tuesdays. But we also have something very new for us, and I promised it last time, and I got working on it. And Caesar from our friends at Big Picks Energy, go follow them on Twitter. They help with 5 Reasons Gambling, help get some content out there. He helped make this. We officially have our records and our scores. So we are just starting from last Friday, and I haven't yet included all the other shows that we have done since Friday. But last Friday, I went 2-1. So obviously, last episode's the same as my overall record right now. Ross, you went 1-2. Unfortunately, got hooked on one play. Crazy hook, to be honest. If we played any other play for that particular player, that his name is escaping me right now, we would have hit it.
Jackson Hayes hit would have
Jackson Hayes. Yep. We played points and assist, and if we played any others, we would have hit it. Real unfortunate because he had several opportunities. And then our family plays, though. So the one you hit was a family play.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the name of the game on Major Money, trying to hit these family plays. So we did start off perfect for our brand new scoreboard. And it'll be a little bit more updated next time, but at least we have something here and we can show off how amazing we're doing or how not amazing we're doing on these family plays. So without further ado, Ross, what is your family play today?
So I was kind of back and forth, really. And I know last time I took Derek White's over in points. I'm going to stay with that same team. I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics, and I'm going to go with their best player, Jason Tatum. I'm going to go with his over on points. All right. So they play Brooklyn. I don't know if anybody's really watched any Brooklyn Nets games. If you have, it's probably been a weird experience. I've watched it in a lot of different ways. And the biggest thing that I've noticed is, one, they play super fast. They shoot the ball very, very quickly. They come down the court and they will chuck up a three. Cam Thomas will do whatever. 1-2 pass three. So the tempo is going to be up there for the Celtics. And then you're looking at the defense standpoint. They don't have a lot of great defenders. Obviously, Boston, you can switch 1 through 5, and they are very good on their end of the defense. So I think they're going to get a lot of stops. They're going to be able to run into transition. I think no Jaylen Brown still. I know his hip is still bothering him. I love Jason Tatum's over, man. I mean, he obviously went over against Golden State, which I think everybody should have played the over, knowing what happened in the summer. But he's also hit this against Charlotte, and he's also hit this against Indiana, where Indiana, again, plays fast-paced. Brooklyn's a little bit more of a fast-paced team. He misses it by half, or he misses, pretty much half against Charlotte, and then he also misses it by 1.5 against Atlanta. So he's right there in terms of right there for getting just the 30. He's got to get to 30. Could this game end up in a blowout? It definitely could. But also knowing a lot of Celtics fans, a lot of them are saying, look for this game to be a lot closer than 13.5 of the spread, because as they know, the Celtics like to blow games where they should be blowing teams out. And just a matter of that, they almost lost to Charlotte. They almost lost to Atlanta. There's games that they're very, very close. And I think this is going to be one of those games where a lot of people aren't expecting the Celtics to lose, but I also think that it could be a lot closer of a game, high-paced. I love Jason Tatum's over. He's hit this in 3 of the last 5, so give me Jason Tatum over 29.5 points.
Good pick. Good pick. I am going to go over to a player that's playing pretty good basketball right now. And a lot of our viewers and Heat fans, my computer's not working right now. But a lot of Heat fans might be sad, once I pull this up. I'm going Dame over his 3 points made. I believe it's 3.5. You can see he's hit it each of the last 3 games. He's been taking a lot of threes. He's been on fire recently and has been scoring a lot of points. So you can also play his points right here. You see Cleveland 10-5, then Utah 4 just last night, and I believe he had another 30-point game. He's been absolutely on fire. The Bucks without Chris Middleton, man, Bobby Portis is their 3rd best player. And no disrespect to Bobby Portis, he's a dog. Like, a lot of good teams need someone like that. But it really seems like it's just Damian Lillard and just Giannis. And even when they have big games, they're still not always winning. I know they just absolutely crushed Utah last night. And Dame and Giannis were both really good. But they don't always do that. They still sometimes lose by a lot. They're playing the Knicks. I think even if Dame, hits 5-6 threes and has 30-40 points, this could at worst be a really close game. I think he's going to get a lot of attempts, a lot of minutes. They rely heavily on Damian Lillard to hit these threes and to make some runs and score a lot of points by himself. Same with Giannis, so I'd be looking at Giannis picks. But I'm just riding the hot hand of Damian Lillard right now. I think he's going to at least get 10 12 3-point attempts, especially on a good defense like the Knicks. People in physical, he might not want to drive as much and settle for a little bit more threes, even more so than usual. So I really like his play of over 3.5 3 points made. Now, as always, we just want to point out, if you combine our 2 family plays, $20 entry would win 60. So that is a ×3. If you've been watching recently, not only did we go 1-0, as you saw on the graphic, we've hit these pretty consistently. This is definitely the best major money bet if you are following us, is to just follow our family plays. So easy ×3 right here. Hopefully easy, I guess I should say. No guarantees in sports betting, right? But this is the play to do if history is any indicator of how our picks are going to go today. But with that, Ross, what is your next play?
So next play is going to be a guy that sold I think it was my last PrizePicks. If anybody's following me, I had a 3-team. I think I had Tatum, and then I had the taco of Shea, and then I had Bam Adebayo's points. And if you watched the game, you realize that was probably one of the worst games he's had. He missed a lot of bunnies, a couple of putbacks and tips and stuff, so the stats don't look as well. But he did have a really bad basketball game. And I just do not believe that Bam is going to have another bad game like that. He's such a great basketball player. I know he started the season off slow. I know Miami's very, very bad in Denver, specifically against the Nuggets, but I'm not going points here. I am going rebounds and assists. And I just looked and it didn't show any data. I don't know if you can pull it up perfect. So he's hit this in 4 of the last 5 games. The only game he didn't was against the Knicks, which was a very weird game because both teams play very, very slow. He hit it against Phoenix when he had, like everybody's saying, his worst game ever. He hit it against Sacramento. He hit it against Washington, hit it against Detroit. Now, Denver is a very good rebounding team. They are 2nd in the league in offensive rebounds and rebounds altogether. They are also 3rd in assists. So it's a team that you kind of look at them and you're like, where does Bam fit in the rebound spectrum? Well, if you look at the Heat overall, who else is crashing the glass besides Bam? I mean, yes, Tyler will come in, grab a rebound or 2. Jimmy will come in and grab a rebound. But the guy that's consistently coming out and coming in and crashing the glass is Bam Adebayo. I love this line because if he can get 7 rebounds and 6 assists, something on that, 9 rebounds and 7 assists, whatever you want to mix and match, he just has to get over 12.5. That's why I like these combo plays, because if one of his stats is failing, say he's not getting a lot of assists, but he gets 12 rebounds alone. He just needs 1 assist there, and he hits this over. So I love this over here. I think he's going to have a bounce back game. I think he's going to be offensively heavy. And then he has Jokic on him. So I love, him getting the ball, Jokic coming, maybe a double team here and there, dishes out for a couple of threes. Tyler's been hitting his threes effectively. I think this team's shooting a little bit better. This team is good. I think this team is good. A lot of people didn't expect it this summer, but the team is good. They're hitting their shots. They're doing the thing. Give me Bam Adebayo's over rebounds and assists.
Yeah, and I was trying to see, to help your point, of sometimes when you combine two, you also get better value. Looks like, though, they're very – you got the rebounds at 9.5, but there's no standard assist. You either have to play a demon, which is 3.5, or you don't get an option here. So they're not a standard one, but I like this play, man. He's been hitting them a lot, even though, like you said, he has not been playing his best basketball. And if you take into account a matchup of Jokic, he might be passing out of that, right? Get an advantage there and then dish out for easy assist. Also, he should have a lot of rebounding opportunities, whether that be offensive rebound or defensive. So this is a sneaky good play on a player that has not been playing up to expectation. I'm going to go for my second pick. I'm going to go with a guy that I've been playing a lot, to be honest. And I know I talked about him a lot, so I'm going to spare some of the exact same things. And it's actually the first one up here to make it easy on me. Cade Cunningham. I wanted to play a specific rebound, and they took it away right before we started. And so I'll go his defensive rebounds over 5.5. And honestly, we've been getting such good value on his rebounding numbers. His total rebounding numbers have been about 5 for basically the start of the season. They finally caught on. But I still don't think they've caught on enough, because I don't think Cade Cunningham's going to get too many offensive rebounds. You can see 9, 9, 5, 6, 4 on just defensive alone. He's playing Atlanta. And I've talked about Atlanta before. I don't think they're a great team. They play fast. Trae Young takes some bad shots, which leads to some rebounds, especially for guards, because he takes a lot of threes and it shoots out of there. So back to where the guards are, Cade Cunningham crashes the glass too. So even he doesn't have to rely on a ball just shooting to him. You have some of those guards like that where they're always around the 3-point line, so you need a long rebound. Cade will get the long rebound. He'll also crash the glass when needed to get defensive rebounds. And, man, I just think this is going to be a close game. I think he's going to play a lot of minutes. Not be surprised if Cade Cunningham has a triple-double again. I'm just playing his over defensive rebounds. If he has a standard rebounding, let's see if they added one back. Sometimes they take it away and add it back. Let's see. 4.5 is the Goblin. That's a really good play too. But I do not see just rebounds. So, here it is. They added it back. 6.5. You can see, compare this number to basically his defensive number. They're almost all the exact same. And you're only need one less rebound. That's why I liked this play a lot. But if you want to hedge just in case for offensive rebounds, you can go over on complete rebounds. But defensive rebounds is going to be my play of over 5.5. So, Ross, what is your final play today?
So my final play is one of those combo plays. It's a little bit weird. I was going to do a different one. I was going to do threes with Devin Booker with this other guy, which his name is Luka Doncic. But instead, I'm going the points with Luka and Kevin Durant. I believe it's 57.5. Last time I checked, it is. So you're not going to be able to look at stats, but I'll give you a little bit of stats. Pretty much Luka's gone 27 points, 34, 32, 29, 24 in his past 5. And Durant's 32, 35, 21, 18, 30. So they really just got to get about 29 each. And, watching the Heat against the Suns the other night, and I've been watching Mavericks games, these two guys are shooting the basketball. These guys are scorers. These guys have been in the league for a couple of years. Durant, obviously, a lot longer. But they just look to shoot the ball and score the ball. Now, Bradley Beal was a GTD. He is going to play. Devin Booker's still a questionable. He's also GTD. but it sounds like he's going to play. But regardless if they're going to play or not, Kevin Durant with the ball in his hands, especially in crunch time, he's going to score the ball. I mean, you could see it at the end of the Heat game. Didn't matter who was in front of him. I believe Highsmith closed down on him a couple of times at the end. It just doesn't matter. He just scores. He's probably the best scorer I've probably ever watched in my life. Just pure athlete. He knows what he's doing. He wants to get to his spot. He gets there, he's going to shoot. So you pretty much have to get him not to be there. And PJ Washington, Derek Lively, those guys are out of tonight's game. So Durant could go over. I was going to do his points alone, but I just love these combos because if one guy slacks with 4 or 5 points on their average and Luka goes for a 70 ball, he hits it alone on himself. So I love the over on this. This is going to be a closer game than a lot of people probably think. I know Dallas is teetering. Same thing with Phoenix. Both teams played decent defense this year. I think they're in the top 10, top 15 defensively, and same thing with their offense. So they're kind of in the middle-ish of the pack there, but both of these guys are scorers. I love when I see two big names on the scorers sheets for these combos. So give me the over of both of these guys, 57.5.
Yeah, I mean, Luka could hit 50 by himself, right? That guy takes a lot of shots, hits a lot of shots. And then, like you said, with Kevin Durant, my opinion, best scorer of all time, and the ability to score in every single scenario and every spot on the floor. Like, literally, there's not a better player in NBA history that can score from every spot on the floor. I know a lot of Jordan fans, even LeBron fans, but are you talking about complete arsenal and ability to do everything in the scoring department? That's Kevin Durant. So I think that's good value too, especially like you're saying, let's say Kevin Durant's 5 points off his average, but Luka 45 by himself, which he does like pretty regularly. It feels like in 38. So a real good value here with two of the most pure scorers in the NBA. For my last pick, I'm going to buck the trend and go straight to college football. It's going to be our only college football play today. In Nico Iamaleava. All right. He's not been amazing this year. Last year was his best play and best game of the season. I accidentally click over. I'm actually going under. But last week, he was incredible. They're playing Mississippi State, which is the exact opposite of incredible in every aspect of football. They finally won their second game. They're 2-7, 2-6. They're horrible. All right. I don't think Nico's gonna play much. He might be like, early in the season, teams have these bye games and they play like a half. That might be Nico this game in an SEC game. And if he uses the decision making he had last week, he's not going to come anywhere close to a pick. So I'm going under on his interceptions. And even though he hasn't been playing great, and he's, in all honesty, from a person that has Tennessee football season tickets and watches every Tennessee game, Nico has made some terrible decisions and has some terrible interceptions. But I believe he's only had 4 on the year. It's just each one is just like 3 of the 4 are like, what are you doing? Like, you just can't see that defender. But overall, he's really safe with the ball when he throws. He has a little fumbling problem, but that doesn't matter when you're talking about interceptions. So I'm playing this of under interceptions. Like I said, only had about 4 all year. Played just his best game of his career against the SEC opponent. Now he's playing the worst SEC team by far. And their offense hasn't been great, but they also might be able to just hand the ball off literally every single play and put up 40 with how bad Mississippi State is. Their defense, Tennessee's defense, is elite, so they're not going to have to make too many Hail Mary plays, for lack of a better term, or try to push the ball or force plays. Nico just needs to protect the ball, hit the screens, and make sound pass attempts. So I like his under on INTs. I'm honestly surprised that this is a normal square. You would think that this would be like a goblin or something, considering he's only thrown 4 his whole career. So I like this play. If you combine all 4 of our picks for Flex Friday, this is what I was saying. I play 4 squares typically. 4 correct times 5, 3 correct, 1.5. So $20, and that's a free one. If you lose, you get all the money back. You get $100 here. So not too shabby of a PrizePicks day, right? So remember, when you play this, though, and when you sign up, play $5, get $50 instantly if you use the code 5. We'll pull up our records real quick just to remind you. We did hit last week. We have hit, I think, like 4 of the last 5 now. Family plays. I believe that's correct. And I went 2-1 last time. Ross went 1-2. We're gonna get a 3-0. I'm gonna throw that out there. Good vibes element. We're gonna get a 3-0. One of us are. So if y'all want to play these plays, let us know. If you want to fade it, also let us know so I can talk trash to you whenever we hit and your fade loses. But as always, let's steal some money from PrizePicks. Let's enjoy some Miami Heat basketball tonight against Denver. We're gonna win that game. Bam's gonna lead us for Ross's pick.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all next week.